Good evening, everyone. Knowledge will give you power, but character respect. The power of the brain helps you to understand the importance of learning how it works. This is our fifth session, Activity in Action. This time I will be helping you review some very important facts about your character and to investigate your character to get a better understanding of you. My name is Andrea and I will be your presenter. Now last week we talked about the different aspects of your character. We talked about how the genetics and environment played an important role and how you develop your character. Okay, time to get that pen, notebook, and your workbook out, Our Mysterious Behavior. You need to open the workbook to page 37. You will be using all the information you write down to compile vital material about you. So, it's time for you to do your part by writing information you know about your character. I will give you a short list of some of the characters, but there will be other character traits that you can write down later on, okay? So character traits, what are they? Well, honesty, rebellious, you could be dishonest, you could be adventurous, a very selfish person or unselfish person. That's your character. Agreeable, brave, disagreeable. You could be very fearful or respectful. You could be disrespectful. You could be humble. You can be considerate about others. You can be very demanding, and you could be thoughtful or thoughtless. You could be responsible or irresponsible. Those are all character traits. You could be really laid back or lazy. You could be very courageous or messy, controlling, charming, reserved. You can be very friendly. All of those and many, many more could be who you are, your character. Mysterious behavior, action, and activity time. Now, write down some of your character traits. Review the list later on. But I want you to keep in mind that nobody is 100% of any one character. That's my opinion. For example, no one is 100% selfish. Some of us are very unselfish. Okay? No, if someone sees you as about 90% unselfish, then you're considered to be a very giving and sacrificing person. But let's say 90% unselfish and only 10% selfish. That means you are a selfish person. I hope you get the point. There are some character traits that can be very positive and negative. You know that. For example, when men are very aggressive, it's quite positive for most people. But with women, if they're aggressive, it's considered to be a negative, you know? With that being said, let's start our first activity in the form of counseling session. That's what we're doing. Now, here are some character traits. I will again begin with me. I will do my positive traits. That was pretty easy. Now, some of my traits, I have more, but these are just a few. I'm loving, I'm giving, I'm friendly, I'm excitable, I'm diligent, whatever I do. I am energetic, I'm very active, and I'm conscientious, and I love to be ambitious about certain things, and I'm humorous in some cases, okay? But if we go back up to the list, you will see some negative things about me, and that will be, I can be very overbearing. I can. A little bit judgmental. I hate to say it. And even though I'm diligent about most things, I do procrastinate sometimes. Controlling, I was told that. It could be good and bad. Yes, I'm a little bossy as well, and I am a risk taker. Now, I talk too much. That could be positive or negative, depends on the person. I can be a little reckless at times. That could be, you can take the choice. So let's move on to our next activity. Who did we get some of these traits from that I just discussed? Are they genetic or their environment? Next activity, okay, I want you to write down some character traits you inherit from your parents or other relatives. And I want you to identify that relative, positive or negative. Then I want you to write behavior characters you got from your caregiver, even though they are not related to you or biological. Somebody that stays with you. For example, your father have a temper, and you have one as well. Your auntie, say Auntie Brenda, she's a very giving spirit, okay? So let's start with the positive characteristic traits. Genetic or environment. And again, I will use me as an example. Giving and hospitality come from my grandmother. Ambitious and very diligent comes from my mother. She's a very entrepreneur spirit. Hard worker comes from my mother as well. Excitable comes from one of my aunts. Forgiving from my sister. Spiritual from a sister and a very close friend of mine's. Event planning from a friend. We do it all the time, so it's become part of my positive. Fun at the party, yep, I will be there acting crazy. So, laid back and learning to let things just go is my wonderful husband. He's very even-tempered. Now, there weren't many biological male figures in my life. It was mostly my mom, my grandma, my auntie. Therefore, a lot of the traits I have obviously come from female. Okay? So, now that you know that, what are some of my negative traits and where did it come from? Bossy and controlling, mostly my mom. Impulsive, let's see, if you do a level from 1 to 10, I say 5, and that's from my grandmother. Loud and talking all the time from my family members. You get us together and it's all bets are off. Foolhardy, bold from some friends. Crafty, my brother. And a little devious is from my sister. As you can see, your character traits can develop or overlap from negative to positive. In other words, some can see you as foolhardy, but some others can see you as very diligent and not so foolhardy. Character depends on you. Which one will you choose to feed? And that's who you become. Now, the interesting thing is on next week, you remember some of those traits that you didn't write down. So I want you to think of them and write them in your notebook. It's going to be very important for you to do that, okay? Now, are you ready for another interesting fact about you and your character? Let's do that. Now, I want you to write down some traits that you got from the environment, people and events around you. Ask yourself how and why. For example, your friend, for some reason, liked to steal, so that you find yourself stealing too. So why did you do that? Why are you stealing? Is there some time in your life you feel like you need to take something that's not yours? Let me give an example. I was looking at a documentary years ago, and this lady needed milk for her baby. It was one of those natural disasters, you know, everybody go crazy in the store. Now, she had the money to pay for it, but it was no one there to give it to. So she took the food she needed and she left. So, is she a thief? Then, you had the positive side. A friend that is a high achiever. Why did you become a high achiever, you say to yourself? And you want to be just like her. So you start studying and putting things together and studying more and more. And then you became a high achiever. So let's get started using me again. High achiever, that came from my friends. Adventurous, of course, is my husband. He loves to travel and he will try new things. And I find out I'm doing new things. Spiritual, friends and family members. They taught me how to become more in tune with God and not so much man-made rules. Now, overeating, well, I'm not anorexic or do eating binges, but I do like to eat, and I have become a diabetic because of it. A lot of my friends like to eat. They do. Eat and be merry, they say. So now, what's now? It's time again for you to do the moment of truth. You need to be honest with yourself. Reflect and contemplate. Look at your positive and negative character traits. Remember, character often takes conscious effort to notice because people don't necessarily reveal their character all the time. Okay? So, I want you to answer these questions truthfully. These questions you need to work on later. You don't have to do it now. You can do it a week from now, a month from now. Just get your textbook out, our Mysterious Behavior box, and look at all the questions and slowly take one at a time to write them down. Question: do you find yourself doing things you thought you would never do? What'd you say? I can't believe I did that. My father always tell me, if you live long enough, finish it. Are some of your behavior affecting those you love as well as others? This is important to know. Do you want to serve others? Just be kind. It's not that hard. Do you find yourself lying more than usual? It seems like as you get older, you start lying about things you don't even need to lie about. It just becomes the new you, I guess. Do you like making people laugh? try to be humorous sometimes, trying to just stimulate. And laughter is a benefit. You can stimulate the organs. It helps with stress, tension, and it improves, believe it or not, the immune system. It relieves some pain in your body, believe it or not, and it increases personal satisfaction. It improves your mood. So laughter is the best medicine. Now, are you the kind of person that like to be in control? Do you like confrontation? I say give it a rest. You don't have to always be in control. Do you find yourself playing games with people's mind? What is your work ethics like? You come to work late, dressed all any kind of way, and you don't like to be told what to do. That's part of your character. Do you love giving? It's okay to give. It doesn't always have to be money. It can be just a part of what you like to do. Do you know what to do? Or do you know how to love? People say, well, I love you, but their actions show differently. Do you like working for the underdog? You know, you just hate people that are bullies. Have you let your environmental influence around you make your decision? Something to think about. I do have a few suggestions, and you may have more. Make a list of some very important questions you want to ask yourself about your character. Prioritize that list, your list, negative or positive, your character that have affected your relationship with others. How have your character actually affected you? Seek ways to increase your positive characteristics so that they can override some of that negative mess you have. Do you need to seek professional help? It's okay. I think it's a good idea. Very good idea. Now, write down several things you've learned about character, and I'd like you to go to my website, AndreaChapman.net, and click on my blog and just tell me about what you just discussed, or what I just discussed. Now, in conclusion, your character play a very important role in your mysterious behavior. Next time we're going to discuss personality. It'll be session 6. Now, for you, again, go to my website, and when the light bulbs go off in your brain, you will discover many mysterious behavior about yourself. Next time, be safe, enjoy life, and remember, positive thoughts make a positive you. Thanks for listening.